Hey guys, just got back from seeing the new found footage horror movie House on Eden. Um, yeah, it's been a while. I was like, I was thinking to myself as I was going to see this movie, I was like, it's been a while since I've seen a found footage horror movie in theaters. Trying to think the last time I've seen one in theaters. I know the last time I've seen a found footage horror movie was actually technically Creep, which I actually watched for the first time like a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It's still that's a damn good movie if nobody's ever seen it. It's like 11 years old. I know I'm a little late on the game. I still haven't seen the sequel or any of the TV show they created called the Creep tapes. But I I had gotten trailers for this a couple of times. It was the same trailer in front of like usually anytime I would get like a indie horror movie. Go see an indie horror movie, especially one that was made by Shudder or whatever. I'd get this trailer, and I was like, "All right, cool, haunted house, found footage horror movie." Like, all right, fine, whatever. I did not know because I guess I'm not hip and cool with the kids, but I didn't know that this was being made by a YouTuber called somebody named Call Me Chris. I don't know who Call Me Chris is. I actually did look her up. I've never seen the video. I see that she does like videos on like spooky stories. Did I saw she did one on Jeffrey Dahmer, like it's like new, like acting like this is new information about a cannibal that used to live in America named Jeffrey Dahmer, which is pretty funny. It's like, man, I'm gonna get no. Do I feel old when like there's a younger generation that are just finding out about Jeffrey Dahmer? It's fucking weird to me. I mean, I grew up knowing shit like about people like that. Um, but I, I'm not like one of those people that are gonna like automatically go, "Oh, wow, that's gonna be bad." It's from a YouTuber. And that's not entirely true because two of my favorite horror filmmakers started out as the current horror filmmakers started out as YouTubers. Now, those were the two I'm talking about are the Filippo brothers. If I'm sorry if I'm saying their name wrong. They are the Australian guys that made Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, which I like Bring Her Back. I know some people didn't like. I like Bring Her Back. I want to see more of what the hell they do. They make some really fucked up horror movies, and then also Radio Silence. One of my probably my favorite horror filmmakers right now. They made the Scream 6 and 7, Ready or Not, Abigail. They were involved in VHS movies. The first two, I think. They made the best segment out of the first one. I know for sure. That was my introduction to them. So they are like I said. Right now, we're getting like it's weird that we're getting like YouTubers that are becoming horror filmmakers, even just filmmakers in general. And like some of them actually end up being pretty good. Well, I guess I had to see one. I had to see the opposite of a good a first time horror director that came from YouTube because, well, I did not like this movie. I did not like. I'm sorry if fans of Call Me Chris or whatever get pissed at me, but this movie kind of sucked. I said, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and like say, oh, she should never make a horror movie ever again or make a horror movie again. No, I'm not saying that. This is our first attempt. Nobody's perfect, but this movie's not very good. This movie's not very good. Um, it's showcases the best and the worst of found footage. I'm like, there's a reason why I'm glad I haven't seen a footage horror movie in theaters in a while. Um, like the only other like current found footage horror movies I've seen were the VHS movies, which I didn't love the hell out of VHS movies. I see all the ones that come out every year and sure, can we? Why are we getting this? Like I noticed it's gonna being produced by Shudder. I don't know why we're getting stuff like this and not like VHS movie like the VHS sequels that are produced by Shudder too. released in theaters. I have no idea why. I'm sure they would do well. I mean, I know that like every time that they premiere those movies, they usually do big numbers for the Shutter business. So why don't they just release them in theaters for like a few weeks early or something like that? I don't know why. Somebody can tell me why. I don't know. Maybe they can't. I don't know if they have the deal, but yeah, this movie's not very good. Um, it doesn't help. Like from the beginning, I was not into this movie pretty much almost from the get go. When you're introduced to these three characters, they're so goddamn annoying. I hated all these characters. I mean, there are three main characters. There's Call Me Chris girl, uh, her friend, the other girl that's her friend, and it's her co-host or whatever, and there's the camera guy. And they're obnoxious, annoying. I know maybe I'm just getting too old for this shit. I don't know. I mean, they're YouTubers. I don't know. Like the other girl, I don't know if it, it almost looks familiar. Like I've seen her in something. Like I don't know if she's an actress or. Let me look it up. I'm fucking. Uh, hold on. Selena Myers. Yeah, of course. She's an influencer, entrepreneur. Of fucking course. Of course, like I don't even know why I had to look that up. I figured, but there are characters I just could not stand. Like from the get go, they're just obnoxious, annoying, and the dialogue's not very good. And I'm just like, God, can we just get to them dying already? Like, I am, I mean, I'd rather the characters from the Blair Witch Project, which at one point was one of the worst movies I'd seen, like when I first saw it, than these characters. And then, like, of course, th- this movie has the same problem that I have in a lot of horror movies, in that, a lot of people talk about that trope that, you know, black people dying first, or, in horror movies and stuff like that. Even though that is not 100% true. Actually, if you actually look throughout horror movies, it's not 100% true. Um, but the one trope, the one cliche that drives me fucking nuts even more nowadays, especially that when you watch a lot of horror movies like I do, is the trope and the cliche of every fucking white person in a horror movie got to be fucking morons. Why is that a thing? Like, can we stop? Can we get like one sensible white person, especially when it comes to like ghost stories or ghost or haunted houses? Like, of course, he's so you get these. The plot is that they're like these paranormal investigators slash they they do videos on like spooky shit. And at first they're going into the middle of nowhere to go to a cemetery, and like the main girl, Call Me Chris, is has the secret that she's driving, and they realize like halfway through, oh shit, you're not going the right way. She says, oh yeah, that's because I'm going to some secret. I'm going to somewhere you guys don't never heard of. It's called a House on Eden, and it's apparently never been there. Nobody knows about it, but even though she read about it online on like a Reddit board or some shit like that, so somebody had heard, somebody knows of it, but whatever. It's like that makes no sense when you sit and think about it for like 2 seconds. Like, so nobody's heard of it, nobody's been to it, but it's on a Reddit page or some shit like that, or maybe it's just something I missed. Somebody can yell at me about it if they want it to. Um, so she, of course, goes there instead, forces everybody to go there instead, and they go to this house in the pitch black darkness, where it's like in pristine condition, even though there's no electricity whatsoever, there's no dust, and she, like I said, of course, they fucking weird, spooky shit starts happening, and like I'll give this movie credit at first. I thought that they were going to actually address the most obvious question that everybody will be having when they see this movie, and that is, why don't they just fucking leave? Like, why don't they just fucking leave? To which I was like, okay, I thought at first that they were going to address it because first night they're there, they, the main girl, Chris, call me Chris, I'm just going to call her that, call her Chris, she uh, blacks out and they find her and they're freaking out. They're like, dude, why did you black out? What the hell happened? She passed out. She don't remember what happened. And they're like, okay, fuck it. We're just going to go back to the van and just sleep in the van all night. And it's like, even though that don't sound like a really good idea when it's pitch black and the way that they went into to get to this house, it's like in the middle of the woods and like there's no fucking lighting whatsoever. I'm like, I was like, yeah, I agree. I guess there's a, but yeah, I take a chance to say, fuck it, let's go out there. And they go out there, or like, and then like this movie cuts to black as soon as they say they agree we're going to go out to the van, and then they cut to the next day, and they're all passed out on the floor, and you're like, okay, so what this movie's trying to tell me maybe is that the house is not letting them leave. Okay, so maybe that's what they're the way they're addressing the plot hole of like why don't they leave? No, they can leave apparently, but they just won't. That's because like they realize, oh shit, we passed out again. I don't know what the fuck happened, how we fell asleep or why we were on the floor and what happened. But hey, let's stay another night because we gotta get footage of this shit. Like literally, the Chris character is like egging on a ghost at one point, calling it a pussy. I swear to God, and it's like I need footage of this. You gotta give me footage. Come on, give me footage. That just shows how fucking obnoxious these characters. They give a shit more about getting footage for their YouTube page than getting the fuck out of this house that is like obviously something really bad's going on. I mean, that has to be a new level of like I didn't even think about that until now. How fucking stupid that is. And like, God, I forgot about that until I just remembered that. And she fucking, oh my God, God, that's like a new level of fucking stupidity of white people in horror movies. I don't think I've seen it before. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have and I just can't remember. But like that is something else. I mean, that is during a scene that I actually gave the movie credit. It was actually pretty clever. I thought it was pretty clever. There's a couple clever scenes, like when they're using their technology, paranormal life technology, like when they're the thing that will talk, the little box that will talk for the ghost or something like that. Or when is in a room by herself, the Chris girl's in a room by herself, like these little glowy balls. They only glow when they're touched by something, and like they just glow by themselves. Like it's pretty clever. I thought that was it was a pretty clever scene, but it's one of those scenes like towards the end that goes nowhere, nowhere. I thought the movie would get interesting at that point, but it goes fucking nowhere. And then like when the most interesting shit happens, it happens off screen. And that just pisses me off. And that makes me go, well, that's one of the reasons why it should never been found footage, is because did this like movie run out of budget? I know this movie. Let me look. How much was this movie made for? It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been $1 million. I don't know. How much was this movie made? $10,000. You're telling me they couldn't like? Okay, they made 10,000. That makes sense. But you telling me they couldn't have like? It's not hard to make fake blood. It's not hard like get like somebody that makes a little bit of gore effects. Don't have to be that great. You can kind of hide it. Like I don't know. Like there's no reason this movie needed to be rated R other than the scene where there's a naked lady. That's about it. That's there's no reason this needed to be an R at all. Like it's like whatever. This movie had a crowd, a decent crowd, but like, man, what do I give this movie? I didn't like this movie very much. It had some clever moments, but it just went nowhere. I gotta give it a D. I'm sorry. I wanted to say C minus, but more I'm thinking about it, the movie because it's so stupid. D. I'm not saying like I said, if Call Me Chris sees this and gets pissed at me, I don't know. I'm sorry, but like I'm sure she don't give a shit about some random guy on YouTube and what his opinion is. But yeah, like I'm not discouraging anybody from making more movies. Yeah, this is their first attempt. God bless you. Apparently, I need to start making. This is like makes me go. God damn, I need to start making movies. If I get a bigger YouTube channel and make movies, I could start making movies that I want to make just for the fuck of it. I don't know. That's as far as the house I needed. Next tomorrow, I'm gonna see. God, it's not gonna get. This weekend sounds like a really bad weekend for movies. Other than Fantastic Four, I should have just stopped at Fantastic Four. Because tomorrow's Bambi the Reckoning, the Bambi horror movie about a mutant deer, zombie deer attacking people. Yeah. All right. That's tomorrow. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.